One of the biggest hazards that isn't talked about when it comes to working on a drill rig is fatigue. 10% of the adults in the United States are chronically fatigued. And if you look at the symptoms of fatigue, they're not anything you want to be around working on a drill rig. It's everything from clumsiness to willing to take more risks. Fatigue is definitely something that needs to be looked at on these rigs as a hazard. And a lot of times what it boils down to is not getting a good night's sleep. Now, the kind of work that we do out there, the shift work, it can make sleeping very difficult. Oftentimes we're away from home. We might even be working odd hours, but there are some tricks out there that we can use to help us get a good night's sleep. The first real trick is to keep yourself on a regular schedule. So what I mean by that is if you're going to be going to bed at 8 o'clock, if that's the time you go to bed, that's when you need to go to bed. If you go to bed at 8 o'clock one time and then you go to 7 o'clock another time and 9 o'clock, you keep jumping around, your body's going to be thrown off. You want to get it set up so that when 8 o'clock rolls around, for example, that's when your body is ready to actually go to sleep. Another thing is, I know this is a no-brainer, but it's actually a little more complicated than you think, is you want to have a dark place to sleep. And that's more than just closing the shades. That blue light coming from your phone, that blue light coming from your computer, all of that is going to affect your melatonin, and the melatonin is what signals your body it's time to go to bed. So even though the light might not be hitting your eyes, for example, that light is going to be hitting your skin, and your skin is going to be telling your body that, hey, it's time to wake up. So you want to have your screens off. You want to have your windows completely blacked out if you're sleeping during the day, because any of that light coming through and hitting your skin is actually going to cause your body to wake up and tell your body, it's time to get up, it's time to go to work. Also, you want to make sure you're looking at the temperature. 68 degrees is actually scientifically shown to be the best temperature for sleeping. Not too hot, not too cold. When you go to sleep, your body actually cools off. And so that's why it's so hard to sleep sometimes when you're in a hot environment. And then one of the other tips is don't stay awake in bed. If you are laying in bed and you're tossing and turning and you're having trouble going to sleep, after about 20 minutes, you need to get up. You need to go into another part of the room, sit down in a chair or something. Don't go on your screen. Don't start watching TV. The best thing would be to sit there and either meditate or even start to try to do some reading, something like that. You need to reset your body because you want your body trained so that when you get in that bed, your body knows that it's time to go to sleep. So don't just stay in bed rolling around. Once again, fatigue, it's something that we don't think about, something people don't like to talk about. I know this one way to really get this across to some of the younger generation is talk to them that it really affects your health. In fact, it affects your testosterone. Is that if you're getting chronically fatigued, it actually lowers your testosterone. So get the message out there that fatigue is not something that you just battle through to be tough. Fatigue is a hazard we really need to worry about, and we need to make sure we have controls in place and people are getting a good night's sleep so they can be safe on the rigs.